When I change how I actually look with makeup, I just end up feeling worse about myself. Contouring in a way to correct the oddities about my face, and then going throughout my day just make me think, wow, I really don't like myself. So I don't really do this. The only things I really change are thickening up my brows. That's one thing that I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna do that, in all honesty. But there are many things that I've grown up as a child, and over the years I've learned to love about myself. And a lot of things that took a lot of time to really learn how to love about myself. And I did get to a point where eventually I started liking my features and didn't really feel like I needed to correct things about myself. This also gave me a lot better self-confidence in going without makeup. It wasn't just like a mask for anything on my face, or blemishes, or redness, or whatever it was that I was dealing with, large pores. It was also about changing the structure of my face. And what made me more uncomfortable than the features on my face that I was not very proud of was the thought that I would become reliant upon something else, something fake, in order to feel like I could present myself and be happy with myself. That made me feel more uncomfortable than my insecurities in and of themselves. I was thinking about how this has impacted my self-esteem over the years, how it's impacted my thinking over the years, and how that has really helped my self-confidence. Because now I've noticed that if I do correct something about myself, I'm like, oh, that's a cool technique, let's give it a shot. Or if I've done it for cosplays and stuff, oftentimes I have to make my nose smaller, and I don't really like it. I don't like how it looks because it's no longer me. To see if this is truly accurate though, I will be correcting all of the things that I have ever had insecurities about with myself, and see how I actually feel about it in this little experiment. I am just focusing on my face, but I am even wearing a top that really accentuates my broad shoulders, because that is one thing that I absolutely hated about myself growing up. So I'm wearing something to show that off even more right now. I really didn't like my jaw, my wide, really wide jaw. I know that's something that is really seen as beautiful nowadays. And we're doing a much better job of seeing the beauty in all different types of faces and body types nowadays. But this, growing up, I didn't know anybody that had a jawline like this. I did not have any peers that had a jawline that ridiculously big, except for boys. So it's something that I really did not like about myself and did not feel was feminine. So we are just going to cut this right off. The next thing is, I have a very round nose, kind of a larger nose. It's got that odd, like a pyramid on my face, very 3D. Cut out the shadows here and draw in new ones. A really big thing growing up was how big my forehead is. All right, now that we've got the contouring in, we're gonna blend, but also try to cover up all of these moles or freckles. It's also something that I did not like about myself growing up. It's that English skin. They're very hard to cover up though, I will say. Now I really love freckles, and it actually did not take me long growing up to get over that one. I'm quite fond of freckles, not just on myself, but on anyone else as well. And we're blending. The contouring actually helps, because another thing that I did not like about myself was how pale I was. But that has also changed, and I am totally fine with being ghostly white. and absolutely adore skin colors of every color. You know, it's weird how often you look at other people and you're like, wow, that is so beautiful. But if you have it on yourself, for some reason, you don't like it. It's something that you don't like on yourself, but you like on other people. I think that just really proves that it's not about the thing in and of itself. It has nothing to do with that. It just has to do with your own self-confidence and the fact that we oftentimes choose to pick on things about ourselves. And maybe that's just because we have problems in our own lives or in our own personalities or things that we just don't like about ourselves. And it's just easier to pick on things that are outside of our control than it is to hold ourselves accountable for the things that are in our control. I know I'm getting real deep on you guys here. See, it's this one. This one freckle refuses to be covered up by anything. I don't even know what I would look like without it. I'm not sure I've gotten rid of that fully. If I had fixed all of the problems that I had ever had about myself, what I would be in myself ideally, and see, you know, if I had actually fixed those things, would I actually like myself? Because they're easy to complain about. But is it actually the things that are naturally me? Or is it just that I don't like myself and it wouldn't matter what I did? This is the process that I went through growing up and learning these lessons that it's not just about loving yourself the way you are, it's about learning the mental blocks that you have emotionally about yourself that you feel like is an outward representation or is because of your outward representation, but really it's not. It's just how you feel about yourself. And if you're able to go through those emotions and work on your inner beauty, you learn to love yourself the way you are. At least that's the process that I went through. And I'm gonna brighten up this triangle here to really get that narrow effect. I have never looked so cakey in my life. That's definitely not true. I had some big mishaps in school, particularly middle school when I first started wearing makeup. The nose is not that bad. I feel like this needs to be darker. There. That doesn't look at all like my nose. I am not a master at contouring. This is a fact. Okay, I'm using a good old-fashioned bronzer to really try and bring down this forehead. Shrink it away to what felt like was a normal size. Basically like cut out this rhomboid I have up here. See, I can joke about this stuff now, but like it doesn't make me feel bad. Like I have a rhomboid shape up here that is above where most normal people's forehead is. But like it doesn't make me feel bad about myself anymore. It's just a fact. And it's not even like, well, I relinquish myself to my faults. I don't see it as a fault anymore. It is a beautiful rhomboid. Crazy amount of bronzer on the side here. Let's just get rid of that jaw. And a little bit on this chin that has been used as a weapon. Okay, good. We're looking a lot less angular. I know my forehead is so much darker than the rest of me. Okay, we're doing good. Let's move on to the next one, which is small eyes. I always thought I had pretty small eyes. We're gonna use a nice light shimmery color. Brighten those up, make them appear big. You know what, we're gonna put some on the bottom too. And you should not put powder on your lash line, but I don't have white eyeliner pencils anymore, which is how I used to. brighten this up. So we're just gonna pat that on the waterline. This is not a tutorial in what you should do, by the way. Now I know I made it look like my eyes disappear, but now that we've completely erased the natural contours of our face, we're going to draw them back in where they're not originally. We're gonna use a little bit of a medium tone and draw that crease above the actual crease. Oh, I'm so cakey. It's so gross. I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows. These I'm just gonna do pretty normally. These are the one thing that like, I don't feel bad about it. I just, genetically, like my family all has this like missing patch, like right in the arch of the brow. So I go without makeup a lot. Again, it's about that thing where I just learned that it was about, you know, not liking myself, and it wouldn't really matter if I were to surgically or makeuply change my face. Didn't really matter. You love yourself by learning to love yourself the way you are. I am actually keeping in mind that one thing I have not liked about my brows is that they kind of have this natural like S shape a little bit. So I'm just gonna kind of create, I guess, what I used to want, which is just kind of more of a standard brow. Now, we draw in our eyeliner, but we're going to drag that down actually. Kind of outside of the line. And then go in with the very light colored eyeshadow. But we want that line to kind of make it look like our eyes are bigger and they actually, the bottom lash goes down here instead of up here. I'm gonna grab my curler, put on my mascara, and then we will finish off with the lips. I almost forgot blush real quick. A little quick blushy blush. I used to watch all of those proportional videos, doing your makeup to make your proportions look proportionate. The whole, this trick, you know, supposed to line up with the outside of your nose, which mine does pretty much naturally, but there's a time I brought my eyebrows in and then it was lining up of your nose, and then a lot of people looked like they were heading for a unibrow. We had all sorts of fads of what looks best proportionally. One of the things is that my face is so wide that I thought I would look a lot better with if I had bigger lips. So this would work a lot better if I had a lip pencil, but hopefully it'll be okay. I'm going to overdraw a bit, baby. I'm doing this purposely not to make myself look like a clown, because obviously going too far is too far. And I don't want to do that just to kind of prove a point. So I'm doing this actually, I'm trying to do this pretty tastefully. I'm actually following the kind of ideas and stuff to just make myself but better. And then we'll be seeing how it looks when I'm done. But one of the things is definitely having big juicy lips, which I do not really have naturally. I'd say they're pretty average. So we are going to stay with the contour of my lips. And now it's not even like, it doesn't look that weird on camera, but in real life you can definitely tell that I overdrew my lips. Holy crap. Well, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it a lot. I was very focused on like each individual aspect and just finally looking at it all together in one thing now. Like, I really hate it. I don't I don't look like myself. And I don't like these techniques and different things. I don't want people to look at this and think that, you know, it's not okay to look at this kind of stuff and be like, oh, like she looks cute right now. That's not my intention. My intention right now is to just be giving an example of all the things that I thought I hated about myself make up me, and all the things that you think you hate about yourself make up you. And they could be things like this. They could be deformities. They could be really unique individual things that nobody else has. And my intention with all of this is just to show you that, you know, maybe this is something you can do for yourself. Fix all of those things if you can. Find a way to fix them with makeup and see how you actually look with all of those problems fixed. And do you actually like it? Sorry, the lips really throw me off because I really hate it when people overdraw their lips because it's just so obvious. But other than that, this is not horrible. It definitely feels like my old way of doing makeup where I was trying to correct things, trying to make my face look more proportionate or more what the standard for beauty is, and I don't like it. It's not me. And I want to show you guys that when you spend years doing this to yourself, you're reinforcing this idea that this is what you have to do to be pretty or to be accepted or thought beautiful by society. Now, again, I understand there are a lot of people that do this, and I'm not saying it's bad for you to look at it and be like, oh, she looks cute. It's literally just a challenge to make sure that you feel comfortable in your own skin without doing stuff like this. And just showing and proving to you guys the years of effects that this can have on you over a long time. And to show you that it's not impossible to undo. I spent years doing stuff like this. The nose, especially the jaw, I used to put bronzer like this every day or all the time, anytime I went out. You know, the tricks with the eyes to make them look bigger. And, you know, maybe not quite this severe, but tricks like this to make the nose look smaller. And again, it was literally just looking at myself in the mirror being like, yeah, I look pretty by like, what, standards, society standards, but I'm not myself. And so it would just make me feel really bad about myself and reinforce that idea of I just don't like myself the way I am. So I would challenge you to learn to fix what's inside so that what outside feels beautiful no matter what you do or what you don't do. So let's take this off because, whoo boy. There, much better. Back to my normal self, and I really hope that this was a video that you guys could relate to and just a friendly reminder to love yourself the way that you are and to see the beauty in yourself the way that you are. So thank you for watching, doves, and I will see you and your beautiful faces in the next video.